Knicks look bad, but hey, it's a long season. Let's talk about it.
Anthony for three.
I think we see Willis coming out. Won the NBA championship.
Have the first pick in the 1985 NBA college draft.
Season ends in the hands of the Chicago Bulls. Reggie Miller is tied the game. The Bulls are your world champions.
New York Knicks select Kristaps Porzingis.
Knicks fans, I'm going to need you all to just calm down. It's one game down, 81 games left. Phil Jackson did his thing in the offseason. Got a solid team. We got some good players. It's not going to happen fast. Just ask Cleveland. All good things are worth the wait. Now let's take it to the roundtable. Welcome to the MadGood Knicks show. I'm Far. That's TK. Jay.
What up?
If you're wondering what our faces are about, you're probably not a Knicks fan. I do want to welcome our brand spanking new audience, though. This is a show for fans, by fans, all things New York Knicks. We listen to you. We're going to incorporate some awesome stuff here in the show. Let's kick it off with the roundtable, guys. Knicks didn't look all that great. However, that's an understatement. However, I want to talk about one of the highlights, and that's Derrick Rose. Welcome back, kid! Good to have him back, Jay.
I touched it and I ain't touching it. Not like that though.
Bruh. That's a great way to start the show. We just lost half of our audience.
I loved how aggressive Derrick Rose was. My man literally started just driving to the lane, penetrating, layup right there, boom. He's doing what he used to do. Bruh, you're a point guard though. You only had, how many assists? Was it? Uno! Uno!
One assist.
That's how many girls I got right now because I'm trying to be good. Uno! That's how many assists you got? Bro, you're a point guard. Pass that ball around. I'm done. T, Far, whoever.
T, let's take it over to you.
First off, let me apologize for profanity ahead of time. I know we have a lot of under 13-year-olds watching. Let's talk about Derrick Rose here. I liked what I saw. He looked like his old self for the most part. You know, pushing the ball in transition, attacking the basket. He finished strong, you know. But, like you said, I'm not too happy with the production from the assist. He didn't do too well in that aspect. He didn't kick the ball out like he normally does. He didn't run quality pick and rolls with Noah that we're accustomed to seeing. He didn't get pick and pops with Porzingis.
Did you guys see a play being called?
I did not. I saw a few.
So there were a couple of plays here and there. I think the main thing with Derrick Rose here is we will need that chemistry to start meshing and meshing quick. Rose had 12 points in the first half, and Melo had 13 through the first half. So those two were clearly the 1-2 offensive punch throughout most of the game. I want to talk about Carmelo Anthony on the other side of the scoring punch. Carmelo Anthony looks a lot like Olympic Melo, if you ask me.
He did look a lot like the Olympic Carmelo because he's still the same guy. But as far as I'm concerned, as far as I'm concerned, the ball stuck to his hands like we're accustomed to seeing. I love Melo, but listen, when you have him and Derrick Rose combined for 36 points on 35 shots, that's unacceptable. They need to get better looks, easier buckets, and they need to pass more. Come on now.
Facts.
One thing that I absolutely was frustrated with, and I'm sure a lot of Knicks fans can agree with me, and that is the ISO ball that Melo has been playing.
Same old ISO ball.
Derrick Rose was almost following the lead, and it was kind of like a 1-2 back and forth. It reminded me of a playoff game that was very close, and you only trust the ball in their hands, except for the fact that they were down almost 20 points. Yeah. It's game one of the regular season.
Look, I want to say this to you, Melo. Spider-Man has been rebooted. You ain't Spider-Man. Let the ball go.
And even Spider-Man actually joined the Avengers, so...
Facts.
I mean, let's move on to the bench play here. This confused the hell out of me. We were looking at the first of the second unit in the first half, and that consisted of Brandon Jennings, Justin Holiday, Lance Thomas, Kyle O'Quinn, and Billy Hernan-Gomez.
Kyle Quinn. Please. Like, he had some good moments in there, but please, somebody emphasize what was going on with Kyle.
Kyle O'Quinn is typical Kyle O'Quinn. You know, he has some good moments and he has pathetic moments.
15 minutes, 5 rebounds, I'll take that. That was more than I expected.
Would you
And
take that foul? That was
Yeah,
like,
that
my man.
foul, the charge, that 3-point shot.
Kyle O'Quinn continues to do what he has been doing since the Knicks acquired him. That is
Which
do
is
a little bit of good and a lot of bad.
And with that being said, please don't unfollow us or block us, please.
That beard looked good.
Brandon Jennings, 7 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds. I want to talk a
1
little
for
bit.
7 shooting.
Yeah, and that's been a problem.
He's a player that needs to get his emotions in check. He seemed overly amped for this game. I don't know what it was, other than the fact that he's coming back healthy. He's playing in New York. The typical stuff. But I just hope that he can get his emotions under control.
I think his emotions will be will be good for the team once he hits Madison Square Garden. I cannot wait for that electricity to just run through him.
Saturday.
He's gonna electrify the Garden. That's coming up on Saturday. Last highlight here from the bench, and that is Justin Holiday, the boy with the ring. He's got a ring too, Bron. Don't forget that.
Ring, ring, click, I get back to him.
He was on that Golden State Warriors team that did beat the Cavs in 6 games. And I really want to bring it back here because 8 points, 6 rebounds, 26 minutes, and played a hell of defense. I was a little bit surprised because he took away playing time from Courtney Lee.
Yeah.
But what are your guys' thoughts on that?
He provided a nice little spark off the bench. He certainly shocked me. With all that being said, let me speak for all of us here at the MadGood Knicks show. It's awesome to have Knicks basketball back. We are so ecstatic.
Woo!
Yeah.
We cannot wait for the remainder of the season. We think
This is game 1. That's
we're
it.
gonna have a good season.
No gave us the
81
heads up.
games left. Mindaugas Kuzminskas.
Oh man.
Haha, what up, boy?
Why do we keep seeing him in the fourth quarter alone?
And he always
Just
does
don't get it.
something in the fourth quarter.
I don't know if
What more
Horny
can he
doesn't
do?
like him, if Horny just doesn't depend on him. What's going on?
I have a slight idea. We'll discuss that another time. What I think may be going on here.
Party sex daughter. That's going to wrap it up for the round table. Let's take it to the wild card.
Enjoy. Welcome to Wild Card.
Opening night was absolutely atrocious for the New York Knicks.
You said it.
Looking at the preseason, they did a tremendous job offensively. They moved the ball around. Horny implemented some really good rotations. Okay, Horny. But most importantly, we didn't run that stupid static one-on-one offense that we're used to running year in and year out. This was reflected in the stats, ranking 3rd in points and assists at 108 and 26 respectively during the preseason. And what did they do against the Cleveland Cavaliers and LBJ on opening night? Of course, score 20 less points and dish out 10 less assists. I mean, are we going through the same thing every year? This is not next year anymore, man. This is next year. They're getting Sanana. Just take over, Pete. I can't do this anymore.
All right. So look, a lot of the great new things we saw during the preseason, especially offensively with ball movement, did not translate into game 1. Obviously, that's reflected in the stats. When we look at the defense, unfortunately, it's kind of the same story. Now, during the preseason, they weren't that good defensively to begin with. They ranked 25th in opponents' points allowed and 23rd in rebounding. In this game, they allowed Cleveland to score 117 points on them, which is 10 more than their average opponent's points allowed. They just weren't moving on that perimeter. Yeah, there was some paint protection, but not what we'd like to see. The story on the superstar side is just as kind of whack, to be honest with you. What we did is we wanted to see how LeBron James and Carmelo Anthony have matched up over the years. Okay, so they're 12 and 14. Carmelo is against LeBron, so it seems pretty evenly matched. But we wanted to give these stats a little bit more context. So what we did is we took Carmelo's numbers against LeBron and compared them to his numbers as a Knick and his career numbers. What we found was interesting. As a Knick, he has some of his best numbers ever, which is something to be happy about.
Let's go, baby.
But playing against LeBron James, he averages some of his worst numbers ever across the board. Points, rebounds, assists. The only thing that goes up is the three-point percentage. And in this game, they were even worse than his bad averages, scoring only 19, 3 assists, a couple rebounds. Not a good showing from anyone. Anyway, if you like these stats and these kind of analytics, we'll be posting a lot more. on our Mad Good Knicks Show Instagram. Join us there. Check them out. Request,
Check
comment.
it out, baby.
Until then, this
Till
has been
then.
the Wild Card segment. I'm
Yes,
Pete,
sir. I'm Steph.
and we'll catch you next time on the Mad Good
Holla
Knicks
at
Show.
your boy.
Don't talk over me when I'm saying like critical things. Like,
Oh, you are saying?
That's it for this week's episode.
That's exactly it. You can find us on @MadGoodKnicks on Instagram or
MadGoodKS on Twitter.
That's not on Twitter.
Don't go to that one.
Yeah,
Don't go to that one.
Yeah,
At MadGoodKS on Twitter.
MadGood
At
KS.
MadGoodKS on Twitter. MadGood Knicks Show on Instagram. MadGood Knicks Show on Facebook. MadGood Knicks Show on YouTube.
And this is Mad Good, baby.
What else do I need to say?
holla at your boys.
Thanks for tuning in. Catch us next week. Same time, same place. Mad Good.
Deuce.